Does the popularity and consumption of satire news make millennials more informed and smarter consumer of news? In 2012, Farley Dickinson University conducted a survey of Americans that stated viewers that get their news only from The Daily Show were more informed than the viewers of MSNBC, CNN, or Fox News. Why would that be? In 1988, Edward Herman and Noam Chomsky published Manufacturing Consent, which highlighted the five filters of mass media, which consequently broke the notion that media acts as a check on the political establishment. On the contrary, media manufactures our consent. In the 90s, after The Daily Show with Jon Stewart exploded and became popular throughout the globe, influencing Bassem Youssef in Egypt to initiate his brand of satire, Jon Stewart was held as one of the most popular journalists, even though he repeatedly called himself just a comedian and his material fake news. There is an army of satirists online, from shallow news in depth in Thailand and rap news in Australia, that are all subverting messages and exposing the hypocrisy of people in power. Satirists such as Stephen Colbert, John Oliver, and Seth Meyers are becoming superstars of news. In a world where 24 hours news networks, in order to fill their airtime, were aching for content and would put anything on, Yusuf was able to appropriate YouTube, which is where he started. There is also the fact that the genre of comedy, under the disguise of entertainment, can tackle subjects or raise questions of matter that may not be welcome for serious discussion in mainstream news.
Yes, I got a question about the statement the White House released on Holocaust Remembrance Day. Do you think it was anti-Semitic to not even mention the Jewish people in the statement? What are you doing?
Actress Melissa McCarthy's Sean Spicer sketch on Saturday Night Live and Alec Baldwin's Trump impersonation was a hit with tens of millions. But Donald Trump did not take it well and tweeted his reaction, showing his frustration with fake news media. Satire has competition from deliberate misinformation posing as serious news, with Donald Trump constantly making false claims and spinning conspiracy theories. When Trump tweeted claiming that Obama had taped his phones, look at how mainstream media covered it.
But I know that there is no credible source that says this allegation is true. How is President Obama taking this?
Although they called the allegation untrue, they spent segment after segment discussing it.
On both of those panels saying that they don't see any evidence of any wiretapping.
The President of the United States is accusing the former president of wiretapping him.
Now let's look at how late night hosts covered it.
So, where did Trump get his info? From the CIA? From the FBI? Out of his ASS?
They pointed it out that it was baseless. They researched the source,
appears to have picked up the idea from the conservative website Breitbart News,
and then pointed out how crazy all this was.
The craziest thing about Trump calling for an investigation without any evidence is that it actually worked. Congress is going to investigate Trump's wiretapping claim.
The mainstream news media, according to Sophia McLean, is that it has to take everything seriously in order to be taken seriously. Another issue with mainstream news channels is the passive style of reporting. Raymond Pingree argues that passive news reports may lead readers to feel that they can't find the truth, and that there are consequences to journalism that just reports what each side has to say with no fact checking. Late night shows are seen as jokes first and news coverage second. Comedy can jump the partisan divide, and for Trump that makes Melissa McCarthy's impression a threat. Satirists walk a fine line between informative newscasts and entertainment.
If you talk to any satirist, they're going to say, I'm a comedian, I'm an entertainer, please don't put this pressure on me, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the second part is that satire sort of can't tolerate BS, can't tolerate lies. It's all about sort of uncovering the mask.
Since The Daily Show and The Kobe Report both were hosted on Comedy Central, which is touted to a younger audience who were evidently turned off by politics and political discourses. According to a Pew Research Center study in 2015, the median age of the consumers of late night show format was significantly lower than the consumers of 24 hours news channels. This has contributed to millennials becoming more informed and smarter consumer of news because satire
is that you don't really say what you mean. And when I process that, my brain has to light up. It's very interesting to look at what happens to the mind when it processes satire.